You're far enough away from civilization now that you get a slightly better chance at finding what you need to find. But it also gets slightly riskier. So, why don't? Yeah, you see what's happening now.
I know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be two of those cheeky red dice.
Why don't you roll me another perception check there, Jax?
How about we upgrade that?
Oh, okay.
I guess that works too.
I find a crate dragon that just died of old age.
Yeah. So
session is over.
So probably
if it dies of old age, it loses its pearl, right? You have to kill it, don't you?
No, not necessarily. But if it's been dead for a long time, the pearl might just wear away to elements, right?
All right. Okay.
I mean, I don't expect to find
that would be like a triumph result. I don't know.
So, you've totaled 6 successes and 2 advantage during your search. So I think that I'm going to give you the big thing here, right? So you probably on the 5th day of your travel, you encounter, you see kind of looming on the horizon a large structure. It appears to span from the distance that you see it at, Jax. It probably spans perhaps, I don't know, perhaps a couple of miles wide, based on your estimation from how far away of it you are. And it's got a darker kind of coloration than the rest of the sand around it, which kind of indicates to you that it may be like a large rock formation of some sort. And looking at the topographical maps that you guys have, Zian and Mouse, you guys can kind of determine that it appears that this is recorded on the topographical maps of the planet, but it's also kind of right in the hot zone, Zian, from where you were looking for, removed enough from civilization that they could still exist, close enough to resources where they could survive, and not any other predators. Because here's the thing, young krayt dragons are susceptible to a lot of things still on Tatooine. So not a whole lot of other predators or other signs of predators in the area. And so probably at the end of the 5th day, running into the nighttime, you reach kind of within vision of this large formation. You can see that it appears to be almost a mountain range, that kind of spans a couple of miles wide. And a couple of kilometers wide, I apologize, it's metric and, Star Wars.
Yay.
So as you all maybe you take the left-hand way and you ride around, you can see that this appears to be a fair excuse me. It appears to be enclosed. It appears that the almost unscalable cliffs kind of rise into the sky.
Wall-like.
But yeah, it's almost wall-like, yes. And I think that as you're going around with your successes that you've gathered, you see that there are probably 3 or 4 entrances where you could maybe get a speeder into. Couple a little bit wider than others, and I think that as you begin to notice this, you see an interesting sight kind of from above the peaks here, because they're not super tall. They would be really hard to scale. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the speeder certainly wouldn't be able to make it up there. But as that day is winding down, as the 5th day is winding down, you all see that there appear to be flying creatures that are kind of skittering between the peaks and flying in and out. And signs of life are rare on Tatooine. And obviously these are the nighttime, maybe, airborne creatures that are coming out. Who knows what they are, right? It's too far away to really get a good guess. But signs of life mean that there are resources near to here, right? There might be water, maybe somewhere in this complex there's an underground lake. Who knows what actually is going on here, but this seems the most promising place that you've seen during your entire course of your travels.
So when you say these cliffs are unscalable,
it would be hard. Are they higher than, I don't know, say medium range? Oh yeah, no, for sure. They're extreme range.
Okay.
From where you guys, like, if you were on the ground.
Alright.
If you really want to get up there, I can
Yeah.
lift you.
Here's the thing. If we were to put it in perhaps language that we understand, it would be a daunting task to scale these cliffs. But there are obviously a couple entrances into what appear to be this kind of enclosed basin almost.
Jax wants his rocket boots.
He's a jetpack.
Yeah.
Be a proper Mandalorian.
Why didn't we think to buy 5 jetpacks?
Damn it.
Well, why do you need jetpacks when you can use the Force? Let's be
When
real.
will our hubris... When
Can
will
you actually? Yeah. Can you use the move talent on yourself?
I don't think so,
No,
but
I
you
think
can
it's
use it
specifically
on
Suicide.
something underneath you to move you that way, technically.
Right.
It's what is it, it's like, fucking everything is Wheel of Time. It's like the same thing, principle using the 1 power to move you.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I thought you could teleport with the 1 power.
Yes, but that's a different thing.
You can-
It's called traveling, and it's basically just folding space.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's more like wormhole than it is teleportation.
I see.
But you specifically can't move yourself with the 1 power,
Mhm.
or touch yourself, like, at all. So,
Crazy.
Well,
I
free.
mean, I said I got needs.
It's true. It's true.
Unless you're
Um,
red, apparently.
So
I mean,
we get
Brown,
a
too. Brown are kind of spinsters.
we perhaps get a powwow, right, where the group of you. So I guess the decision is yours. The dusk is setting, so it's becoming dark and it's going to get rapidly colder, right? The group of you could choose to enter into the basin. You could choose to like wait outside of the basin and then go in during the daytime. There's too much ground to kind of like take a step back and then cover the areas because there's a lot of space and it's obviously blocked from vision on multiple different areas. So what do you guys feel like you want to do with this
how about-
newfound area?
How about we pick one of the entrances that looks the best, and we can probably do some sort of roll to give an estimate on that, and then spend the night outside in range of it, and keep a watch to see if anything comes and goes before
Yeah.
we just venture in at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
I have a question
Yeah.
about the group. So, being stuck in a speeder for multiple days is different than being stuck in a ship. We're like in road trip conditions right now.
Yeah, for sure.
How annoying is everyone?
Zian's not annoying at all because he can meditate and shit.
I think Mouse.
No,
is
that's
good.
very annoying. Jax would be very annoyed if he's like, "Where's this crate dragon?" He turns around and Zian's just meditating. He'd be like, "Fuck that guy."
I think Mouse is pretty annoying. She probably sings songs. Well, you know,
Oh my
she's
god.
probably
and-
like humming to herself.
If they're gonna be annoying, I would like a discipline check.
Sure, to not lose your mind. I'll make it average, and you get a black dice because of the cramped quarters. You can't like get away from it.
Okay.
Sorry, this is a dumb question.
Yeah. So you're fine. You're able to deal with it, but you do take a strain from it.
Oh, I love it
Yeah.
when we punish ourselves.
Kin, you're probably telling stories, right?
Yeah, definitely telling
Yeah.
stories about the
All
sea.
dragon stories from that one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that one
Every time,
ship
yeah. Every time Mouse stops singing, I will start.
Literally the worst road trip buddies.
Does everyone need to make a discipline check?
You know what, mate? Sure. Why? Like
okay.
Mouse and Kin can handle each other, I would say, but maybe
Yeah.
maybe Jackson.
So
Zian should make a
I feel
discipline
like
check.
Jax has probably been on a lot of like stakeout / scoping out that situation events, and he's just kind of used to drowning out stuff and focusing on a task. But I will take the check if
Sure.
you so choose.
It's up to you. If you think that would grate on your character, then make a discipline check.
I feel
I
the only
think
thing
that-
that would... You go first.
I think that it possibly could over the time period, but I also think I should get a blue dice for being, force meditation stuff going on.
I'll give you a blue dice. Why don't you go ahead and roll, Zian?
What have I done?
You are
exude an aura of calm to the
Yeah,
entire
no.
group.
literally my words are going to be you are in the embodiment of calm in this moment. Nothing that can be done in this moment can even perturb you.
It's hilarious though, because if you hadn't got that blue dice, you would have failed.
That's true. That's very
Well,
true.
but in that case, I would have been like, okay, Zian's a little perturbed, but everybody else is a little calmer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're taking all of their annoyance upon yourself, right?
Yeah.
Jax, are you gonna roll?
I'm not gonna roll now.
Okay, all right. So yeah, there you go. You are like you. Maybe Dash is taking a turn, like sleeping while you're driving or whatever, and like your hands grip the wheel like really tightly, and then you just like, no, it's okay. I don't have to kill them. It's fine.
So genuinely, I don't think Mouse and Kin would bother Jax. If anything, Zian's like chillness would bother Jax because
Sure.
he just thinks of that as unnatural, and Zian is like, it's funny, right? Because Zian doesn't buy into the whole Kin is a real person thing. Jax is a bit more like, well, you're so weirdly chill, you're not a real person.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm allowing Zian's triumph to make Jax ignore that.
There you go.
temporarily.
Okay. Cool. So, the group of you, let's I think another roll here. What do I want? I play too many RPGs and I forget always what the good rolls are.
What the skills are? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we?
for
What are we
sure.
looking to do? Are we
So
looking to
you're
find a
trying to
spot
find
hold up?
the best spot to maybe hole up.
Survival.
Yeah, that seems accurate. Survival. So who would like to roll a survival check?
I've got 3 green dice in survival. Does anyone have better than that?
No.
Survival?
Does anybody have higher cunning or any points in survival, and maybe we could do a combined check that way?
I have 3 green dice in survival.
I think
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
everybody.
look at me and Mouse, so damn cunning.
Yeah, so one of you can roll. I'll add a blue dice for like the assistance from that other person. It's gonna be hard though because it's unfamiliar territory. You're not really sure. There's not a whole lot of cover outside of the entrances, so you're gonna have to try and find a decent place. And I'm adding a black dice just because you don't know the landscape as well as you would like to.
Can you add 2? A total of 2 blue dice if I help.
I can, yes, because you have that special ability.
Mouse, do you want to roll this one? As I've rolled the other ones.
Yeah, sure.
Go for it, Mouse.
I'll be the survival expert of the group.
Well, when it comes to
It does make sense, though.
a hidey hole to
Yeah.
hole up in for the night, I just
There you go.
Yeah.
So you all find what appears to be kind of the widest, most accessible entrance, and it's still not even like terribly wide. It's probably maybe
Crazy.
2 or 3 lengths of the speeder, and you can see the cut kind of runs through and then kind of swerves to the left and the right, and you can't see all the way through, but you can see a fair distance back. And the group of you settle down, you park the speeder, maybe get out to you stretch your legs or whatever. But you're on like the other side of a dune. So if there's anything that comes like from out of the hillscape, it won't like immediately see you. But you guys can easily kind of, crawl up the dune and kind of gaze that direction and keep a good lookout, while being able to see kind of a good area around you so nothing can really sneak up on you. So I think that you guys are going to take watch, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was actually going to be my question. So Kin doesn't have to sleep, right? He could reasonably take the entire watch while everybody rests. And since you guys have a speeder, Kin doesn't have to worry about like battery life or anything like that because, he can just charge off the speeder if he needed to.
So that makes perfect logical sense. However, I don't think Jax in any situation would like be comfortable just not like taking a watch. So at the very least, he'd put himself on some kind of on-off system where he was either like on watch with Kin and chatting with Kin, or like catching a few like like a whole bunch of 30-minute naps.
You're gonna go on the Iron Man schedule, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Glad somebody knows what that is.
I had a friend who did that. It was the worst.
Did they actually succeed?
Yeah, but so we played D&D, and we'd play D&D for or Pathfinder really, for maybe 7 hours. So in the middle of it, he'd have to go take a nap, and we'd have to just have some downtime. But then he's like, after a few weeks of doing it, he's like, there's just nothing to do. Like, there's no point.
Really?
Yeah.
He got
What's the Iron
bored.
Man schedule?
So you do 4 hours awake, 15-hour power naps, and repeat that.
15-minute.
15-hour power nap.
15
That's
minutes,
not
sorry.
Napping. Oh.
15 minute. Sorry, I
But-
missed
But you do,
really
but like you do that
angry.
forever, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Because my
But he's
girlfriend
like-
will take 5-hour naps. I'm like, no, bitch, you just went to sleep.
Yeah.
That's not a nap.
Yeah, that's not enough. But he basically said, it was great. He had all this extra time, but he didn't do anything with it. So there was no point to doing that sleep schedule.
right.
So if he was, if you're someone who's going and doing a bunch of stuff with it, yeah, sure, go nuts.
Yeah, if you're like in the wilderness trying to survive, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Well, then Jax will keep doing it for now.
Cool. And the rest of you, with Kin and Jax kind of doing that, would you feel obligated to take a watch or anything like that?
I would ask what the group wished. Like, if they wanted people to take watches, CN would definitely do that. Or if Kin wanted some company, maybe to discuss some philosophy of whether or not he's a real person.
I already know the answer to that.
Do droid stream of Electric Panther.
Wouldn't it be Nerf?
I don't know.
Nerfs are kind of like the
sheep.
more closely aligned with sheep.
I don't. I don't know every single Star Wars animal.
Fair.
Okay, I probably
I'm
do.
a massive nerd like you.
Hey, you did know horses though, so
I mean, yeah, that makes me a huge nerd knowing about horses.
don't worry. As you guys know, I'm self-admitted not the biggest Star Wars nerd.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, would anyone? What would you guys say to that?
Jax would have nothing to say to that.
I mean, Kin is a real person.
Well, that was
No,
more of a-
not that.
That was in character. That was out of character. But I was asking if he wanted to chat or anything like that.
Oh, okay, I'd be fine with taking a watch. I don't know. I think Mouse would probably not want to take a watch. Actually,
Sure, yeah. Just go to
So
sleep.
Kin, whether or not people would take watches, Kin would just, sit there anyway.
If anything, Mouse is kind of a greedy individual. She'd probably,
Yeah.
she'd probably not want to take a watch.
What about you, Dash? Would you care enough, or would you want to get your full night's sleep?
Driving, I guess. I don't know.
Well, there's no driving, right? Because you guys are camped out.
Oh, he's gonna sleep because he doesn't really
Sure.
know if actually he's gonna stay up and
So
watch.
you'll take a watch. So Jax, you're gonna do like the Iron Man thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? Can you roll me a resilience check?
Ooh.
Ooh.
And
Make an argument for boost dice because I feel like this would be how Jax operates in these situations anyway.
I think that if you were used to that
I
recently,
look.
maybe. But I think that since it's
Fair enough.
like you haven't done that in quite a few
I
months,
was
it's
just
probably good a little
chatting
bit.
While I found resilience anyway.
Ooh. Yeah, so
Jeez.
so this is super appropriate. Yeah, it's super appropriate, right? And I'm not even gonna do anything special with that threat. Just add 4 strain. Because
Right.
I think in this scenario, you're very successful at doing it, but really what you end up doing is basically just staying up all night, right? Like you don't get any restful sleep.
Yeah.
And so like by the time morning comes and it's time to do stuff, you're a little bit bleary-eyed and maybe your eyes are a little bloodshot, and you know you've
What's
had
the
this
coffee
you've
equivalent
had
of
this
Star Wars.
Calf.
Yeah.
calf, yeah. You've had this fucking piece of sand stuck in your eye for like 5 hours, and you've been trying to get it out, but it just won't work, and it's just annoying you now, causing you a hefty amount of strain. However, I do want Kin. Can you, since you are going to be awake the whole time, can you roll me a perception check? And I'm gonna add a blue dice because reasonably somebody might be up with you during this.
This is the reason I shouldn't have watch.
Yeah, you know, I just wanted to give everybody an opportunity to see if they wanted to help out.
Right.
Mm.
We got robbed.
Yeah.
So
Great.
you have a pleasant conversation with Zian while he's awake, and you know it calms you perhaps a little bit. But yeah, throughout the night, none of you notice anything out of the ordinary.
What about Dash? Who's staying up or is...
I thought you said you were sleeping, right?
No, I said I...
No, so
I-
that's the thing. How I, because the three of you can't reasonably stay up with Kin like Kin can. I had Kin make the roll, but I added the blue dice for assistance.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
guess I'm sleeping then. Why not? Or wait, I'll be the assistance dice.
Yeah, you're not taking any detriment for taking a watch. Only Jax is, because he decided he wanted to basically stay up all night,
Yeah.
which he may possibly be regretting now. But we'll see. We'll
Just
see.
take security very seriously.
Yeah, very seriously.
Up all night with Jackson Ken.
Be one hell of a ride.
That'd be an awesome radio show.
That'd be a great radio show.
So, dawn is breaking across the dunes, and the sun is, you know, beginning to peek up over this big structure and shining down. The first one, I should say, is shining down towards you. Everybody awakens, and the plan is to head in and see if you can see anything, right?
Can we do just like a perception to see if anything has changed? I know we didn't see anything overnight, but just see if anything has shifted or changed kind of near our campsite.
So, like, yeah, I would say sure.
I'll roll
If-
that.
Or maybe a
I'll roll
survival might be a little more appropriate.
Yeah, survival might be more appropriate. It'll be a average check, but I'm gonna add a black dice simply because it's all sand.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to see if stuff changes, or everything has changed. You don't know what's changed for the worse, right?
Well, I'll aid, so 2 blue dice.
Okay.
To whoever is doing the
that.
roll.
I'll roll it.
Go for it, Jax.
Desperately trying to get some advantage.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna recover a strain.
Perfect.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it doesn't appear like anything untoward has happened anywhere around the camp that you guys have made. You know, the wind has whipped up a little bit, kind of, you know, washing over some of like the tracks that you guys have made, but it doesn't appear like you were visited by anything in the night or there was anything in the immediate vicinity around you.
Alright.
Cool. So, the group of you jump into the speeder and you begin heading towards this little cut in the mountains that surround the area, and as you do, you get closer and closer, and it does that thing that mountains do where they seemed so close, right? Like they seemed right there, but it takes a while for you guys to actually get to the kind of the entrance. And as you're kind of approaching the entrance a little bit, you can see that there appears to be like a smaller little foothill that kind of sticks out from where the mountain actually goes up straight. And it looks like there might be a little like bit of plateau up there. You can see that there are some scattered like rocks or stones that are throughout like the inside and outside of the pass. And as you approach, you get closer and closer to the pass. You finally fall into the shade of the giant, you know, mountains surrounding you, and kind of like this darkness washes over the speeder for a moment. Dash,
Yep.
I need you to make me a piloting planetary check, please.
Ooh.
I'm getting one free upgrade, and then I'm also using a dark side point.
Well, I'm gonna knock down 2 black dice if there are any.
I did already reduce the 2 black dice I had added.
Okay.
It's good that you have him as your pilot, by the way. Wow.
Yes.
So Dash, as you go to enter through the pass, all of a sudden, a wire is pulled taut in front of the speeder. And if you had continued upon your path, it would have sheared the top of it off. However,
Damn.
you're able to divert and like slide to the side, and it spews up this huge wave of sand, kind of obscuring your vision almost. But you're able to stop in time so the wire doesn't damage the speeder as it's coming through. And the group of you, like, everybody kind of like settles for a moment. You're like, what's going on, right? And as the dust begins to settle, you hear the distinct sound of sand people shouting outside of the speeder.
Alright, so question.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could add, because I know that the difficulty is different, but and I don't know if there's anything, but I would actually like to try to use the full throttle maneuver to speed up.
I mean, we're gonna roll initiative, so you may have an opportunity to do that at some point.
Never mind. I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, no. We'll roll initiative, and perhaps if you want to take the first turn and jet out of there, that's totally something you can do. But let me get something
I didn't
set up
know.
real
I'm
quick.
sorry.
Nope, it's okay. I'm getting something set up. Have no fear.
Oh, you drew a picture of Ken fighting a sand person? Really?
I knew
The
it.
sand person fucking up Kin, I'm not gonna lie.
Spent the last hour doing that.
We ready for initiative?
Yeah, no, hold on.
Oh, okay, I'll hold.
I need to show exactly what you might be getting into.
Oh, beautiful.
Dun, dun,
Yes,
dun, dun.
vigilance.
I need battle music.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
No, it's the sand people.
I don't know what the sand people fight music
I'm gonna
sounds
find
like normally.
I was just gonna
It's
use some
that weird.
It's like a leprechaun's kind of folklore song.
I was just gonna use some Final Fantasy music, to be honest, but
Oh.
So, let me
Yeah.
draw a black wire here. Where Dash saved all of you from certain destruction of your speeder, or at least damaging of it. So we're gonna roll initiative. As you can see, the dust is settled. It looks like 3 banthas with sand people on top of them have come like marching into the path, and there is a group of like 6 that have like tried to like surround the speeder at this point, and they're all screaming and kind of like charging over to you. Lucky for you guys though, you're still in the speeder. You didn't crash or anything. So that is the good news. Why doesn't everybody go ahead and roll me initiative?
alright. What do you want for initiative?
I would say this is unexpected for you all.
Alright.
It is expected for them, however.
Hey, cool, I got 4 successes on 2 green dice, which is basically the best roll I could have made.
I'm gonna take 2 strain. I'm gonna take 2 strain to increase my score by 2.
Okay. By
So
2
I'm
successes or
2-0.
2 advantage?
Successes.
Okay. I also need to roll for these guys. They're technically in this fight. There we go.
Didn't we need battles for bait?
You know, there was something that said that at some point. Yes.
So you need to change. I was a 1-0, and I should become a 3-0.
Okay. No problem. For some reason, one of the few things I hate about this system and Roll20 is it doesn't arrange descending properly.
Huh.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
So it only recognizes the first number, but it doesn't recognize the second number.
Oh, so there's an yeah.
But anyway, everything's done. So looks like the PCs get 2 turns, and then an NPC gets to go.
Dash, is your plan on driving us out of here?
Yeah, but if
Can
anyone
I
is
take
interested
the
in
first
taking a
turn?
shot,
Can I
yes,
take
you
the
may.
first turn then. All right.
Yes, you can.
The lads, can I tell? So they all look the same on Roll20?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of sand people with gaffy sticks that are like charging
Alright.
the speeder.
So none of them have
Flamethrowers.
weapons.
Does not appear so. No.
Ranged weapons. Okay, cool.
Let's
So
see.
I am going to Jax. I think would lean out the window and he would shoot at the ones in front of us on the banthas. Are they one group?
So I mean, yes, technically, the sand people are a minion group. Banthas are actually rivals, though. So
No, I'm shooting at the sand people on
Yeah.
top of the banthas.
technically, it's a group, the minion group of
All right,
them.
cool. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna suffer
Oh,
another 2 strain
Okay.
to not increase the difficulty of firing with 2 weapons, which I plan on doing.
Sure.
And I'm going to fire with my pistol. And I get 2 blue dice for quick strike.
Yep.
And
No
I'm
problem.
going to what range are we at?
You were at short range from them, I would say.
And I get 2 boost dice for aiming. 1 for aiming as my maneuver, and 1
Okay.
I get to aim as an incidental.
I'm adding a black dice just because you're on a moving vehicle, basically.
Yeah, fair
right?
enough. Sweet.
You're not standing still. So, but
Yeah.
you have 4 blue dice, so I mean, you should be fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Go ahead and roll
Ready?
whenever you're ready.
Awesome.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
Jesus. One hell of a round.
I'm gonna let you play this one out however you think, because so obviously all the damage is getting done to one of them. One of the other ones that's on a bantha, I don't have a second gun anymore, so my second attack with him was with my grapple launcher, and I've just grappled him, and taking all the advantage into a thing, and like I can definitely crit with my grapple gun, even though like I just want to like yank him off his bantha or somehow like attach it to the speeder, so if Dash were to drive away, we would drag him behind us.
Yeah. So, I think that's totally fair. So I think what happens here is, first of all, you just like, you hang out the window and you just start shooting them, right?
Yeah.
You hit 2 of them, and 2 of them fall off the banthas. The third one you hit with the grapple gun, and as you hit the retrieve button, essentially, he gets thrown to the ground and is dragging. He is not quite dead, though. The other 2 appear to be out of the fight.
Cool.
I,
basically
have
wanted to
a
do something sick
question.
with grapple gun, so I'm
Yep.
happy.
If I used improve full throttle and I suffer 1 strain to make the full throttle as a maneuver, could I also have an action?
So
how
full
does that
throttle,
work?
right? I think full throttle is
No, I have improved full throttle, so.
yeah, but I think that like
Sorry, just before we how much of it my advantage did that cost me? Because I would recover some strain if I could.
so if you want to crit, it would cost you 3, so you could recover 4 if you wanted to.
Alright, sweet, done.
Oh, but doesn't it take advantage to trigger a second weapon
It
attack?
takes 2. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, it takes 2 advantage.
So you
to
could
trigger
recover
the
2
other
strain
thing.
then.
Yeah.
Cool. So what I was saying though, Dash, is full
Actually,
throttle.
it takes 5 to crit with the grapple gun, so I'm not going to recover any.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you also can't crit, but that's totally fine.
Yes, I can. 2 to activate the grapple gun and 5 to crit with it.
Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry.
So I used all my advantage, basically.
So full throttle is an ability that you can use, right? And you have the skill that is improved full throttle, correct?
Yep.
Which allows you to do it is to take strain, right? In order to perform it as a different ability, like not an action, right?
As a maneuver, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what happens. That's exactly how that works. So if you don't want to use full throttle as your action, you can take strain, use it as a maneuver, and still have an action or another maneuver.
So as basically my reasoning is, this is happening in seconds as they're running at me and I'm driving. I want to shoot this sand person as I'm driving in direction to basically like I'm driving this direction. I'm probably gonna hit him, maybe shoot him out of my direction.
So yeah, so you're gonna punch it, but also lean out the window and take some shots with your blaster, right?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. That's totally drive-by, absolutely. So let's see here. You're at short range, which is good. But I'm adding 2 black dice because you're also driving and you're also leaning out of a window, shooting. So if you would like to go ahead and take a shot, I assume you're shooting at like these guys here, right?
Yes, I'm shooting in that direction.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Mm.
Yeah, so it just you impact the sand and some of it glasses, and the Tusken Raider does not seem too perturbed by it. However, you technically can use the full throttle maneuver, right, to move the vehicle.
Yeah, but I have to roll a average planetary for it to actually work.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and roll that for me?
And of course, if there is any black dice, I would like to.
Yep. I would have added 1 because you also were shooting, but yeah, no problem.
But full throttle, isn't that to increase the top speed of the vehicle?
Yeah, I'm increasing the speed, so basically, in logic, I'm speeding off.
Yeah, he's basically using
speed and maneuver drive. Because what you're doing is you're increasing the possible max speed of the vehicle with throttle.
So, should I do that or not?
Just don't take the strain, right?
Yeah.
Basically, the vehicle was at 0 speed, and now it's at 1 speed.
Yeah.
So as you drive here, I'm gonna roll a check for these guys because they need to get out of the way. This is probably an athletics check, to be honest.
Run. Yeah.
To not be run over. But I would say with agility, and they're not trained in it. Now you gunned it, but you're not like moving at full speed, so I'm just gonna make it an average check, and we'll see what happens.
See.
Okay. So the one that you shot at dives out of the way. He doesn't get hit by the speeder as it comes careening by him. But he has survived. He rolls his ankle, basically.
Okay.
Don't forget that there's a guy attached to our speeder with a rope.
Hold on.
Do a handbrake turn. Make him swing.
I'd have to roll for that.
Nice.
There. Happy?
Very. I'm so happy.
Good. That's my
all I wanted.
my whole job in life is to make you happy. So I'm glad that I succeeded. So it's NPC's turn. The group of you. So Jackson Dash You're leaning out of the windows. Jax, you're holding onto your grapple gun, like you're holding your arm out the window, and this guy who's like dragging behind you. However, you see a form appear on the top of the plateau. And Jax, you like look up and he looks at you, and you see him sling a rifle down and aim it at you.
Oh,
What a prick! What a prick! He can fuck right off.
Yeah. So it's the Sand Panther hunting rifle. It's kind of nasty. I'm just throwing that out there. And this guy is not no joke. So, yep.
We are a moving target, though.
You are a moving target, absolutely. So he's going to get the black dice for that.
Do I get any cover for being in a speeder or partially in a speeder?
So technically, unless you take the cover action or maneuver, you don't have cover because you're kind of like leaning out, right, of the thing.
I was just curious.
He's at medium range from you, however, so it is going to be an average check. But you just get a setback. But he is going to aim. And let's see. You don't have any defense, do you?
I have one.
One range defense?
One range defense, yes.
All right, cool. Let's see what happens.
For now.
Oh, yeah, he misses. Look at that. Yeah, so...
Jax takes the hand that's got the grapple gun on it and gives him the finger.
Yeah, so this is basically what happens is, like, you hear the... as, like, the bolt hits, like, leaves a big hole in the side of the vehicle. And you, like, Jax, you probably do that thing where, like...
Insurance.
Yeah, you, like, look out, see the smoking crater from the vehicle, and then flick him off.
Oh, so it's a blaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's not a slug thrower.
oh interesting. Hey, Mouse, you want one of those? Because we can definitely go fuck that guy up.
Take it.
I love Jax. Like looks at the hole, looks at the guy, and goes, "Mouse, that guy's got a sick rifle."
To be fair, so does Mouse, though. If we're being honest.
Yeah.
It's true.
Next up, Mouse? Question mark?
Yeah. So it's another PC's turn. So Zian, Kin, or Mouse.
I'm thinking, just meta gaming a bit here because there's 4 of those turns coming up. Maybe you should go out crowd control, or what do you think? Do we want to run away, or are we fighting?
Who's gonna go?
I think the plan is to run. Like we have the speed advantage on them.
I really think it Sand. So if we're being metagamey, Sand people aren't gonna have great gear. They're not gonna have many credits, and killing them isn't gonna achieve anything for us.
We're
so
just gonna take resource losses, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I'm not gonna go.
You're not gonna dive out of the vehicle? Because
Yeah.
I was ready for it. I'm just throwing that out there.
I would like to do something weird.
Yeah, go for it.
For it.
Somebody needs to go.
Is it possible to wire the speeder in such a way that it electrifies the surface of the speeder so that if any sand person jumps onto the speeder, the outside of the speeder?
Mouse, this is Star Wars. Anything is possible.
I would like to do that.
Okay.
If that's possible.
Yeah, so definitely sounds like a mechanics check.
Yeah.
I would say
I slip up into the front seat.
Yeah.
Pull out a console, start pulling.
Pull out the
wires
radio.
so. I want to go with hard, but I think it actually might be harder to do than that.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go with daunting here, and I'm going to give myself a free upgrade just simply because there's potential for something really bad to happen.
The record
Oh, man.
plate.
Wait. Is this gonna violate our insurance policy?
Yes.
I like to think that's in game. Is this going to violate the insurance policy? Yes.
No, don't do it.
Is this gonna violate the search policy? Yes.
But we already have a hole in it.
Yeah.
So if you would like to make a mechanics check, you remove black dice from mechanics checks, though, right?
Yes, I do.
Because I would naturally add one because you're under fire and like the speeders were bouncing around. But if you remove one, then you're good.
2 now. So
okay, cool.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, and anyway, if we violate the insurance policy, I can fix it, so whatever.
It's true. Just fix it before you bring it back.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm rolling. But you...
Oh, no! It completely violates the insurance policy!
Yeah. So, I think that what happens here... Mouse, we get the scene...
Anti-mouse!
Yeah. We get the scene, Mouse, of you're messing with stuff. You have
It usually doesn't happen.
No, and you have 4 yellow dice. So so you're messing with you're like basically hot wiring the outside of the vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So you get it done, and you're certain that you've done it. And so you plug some things into some different places. You pull out one of those, like, because it's Star Wars, they all have the fuses, which are basically like crystals, right? Like a fuse and everything is a crystal. You pull out one of the fuses, you place it in the other thing, and you're like, okay, I did it. And Dash, have you ever been in for anyone that's ever been in a car that's got a dying battery or a dead battery, and your gauges start to like fly all over the place, and like all the lights are blinking, and everything is going shitty. Dash, what happens is you're not getting any response from the gas anymore.
Oh.
And the group of you slide to a halt.
Fucking mouse! And you blame me for fucking up shit.
And
That
Mouse,
doesn't usually happen.
yeah, the strain that you get, Mouse, is like you're like, I don't understand what happened, and you look, and like you wipe away some sand or grit, and you realize you put the fuse in the wrong place. But it like melted down it's something so simple, right? But it like melted down the whole vehicle, and it's useless until fixed at this point.
Oh, no.
Well, now I have something to do.
I guess I
Well, I
gotta
guess
jump
that
out.
gives me a reason to do the thing I was gonna do after these NPCs go.
So I'm putting the X over the speeder just for now until Mouse can fix it.
So now it's gonna be great. Awesome.
Yeah, so
Mouse is like, yeah, strange. That usually doesn't happen. Oh, hey, I put the fuse in the wrong place.
so the first thing that's gonna happen.
What?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard.
It's fine. God damn it, mouse.
I love this.
So
I've been waiting for this to happen the entire time.
yeah, hey, sometimes that's the way it goes. Like I said, anything is possible. I gotta real quick because I messed up on these tokens. All right, so the next NPC turn is going to be the generic Mook Raiders, and they're obviously going to swarm the vehicle. So these 3 right here, Jax, you're still available for attacking because the window's still down and you're like holding your grapple gun out the window. The other 3 actually are going to attack the side that doesn't have any windows down, though. They're just going to try and break the windows essentially. And then the guy hooked with a grapple gun is going to try and get himself out. So yeah, he's going to try and disconnect himself.
He's in snare 5, so I think it's a daunting something.
He's also really dumb, so it doesn't really matter how hard it is. He just doesn't want to be drug around anymore. So let's actually read real quick. So it's snare 5.
I think it's 5 rounds.
Yeah, so it's a number of rounds, but they can attempt a hard athletics check to break free. So, hard athletics check. And I just rolled athletics for them, right? Brawn. Alright, let's see. He does not break free. In fact, as he's trying to, because it's probably, actually, this is Star Wars, but it's probably, latched into him. As he's trying to break free, he just, passes out. So the 3 there's a group that's going to attack you, Jax, with their gaffy sticks. They're gonna just basically try and beat down on you, and they still have. Oh wait, hold on. almost made a mistake. Got to make their minion size correct. Right, yeah. So you have melee defense 1 as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be average, but it's got a black dice for the defense. I hit you. Is 5 enough to beat your soak?
It is. I just took two. I have soak 3, so.
Yeah. So you take 2 wounds from that. They don't have anything to. I think disorient has to be activated.
Yeah, I think it.
Let me just look real quick. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Disorient has to be activated. So they can't activate disorient against you. Thank goodness.
Sweet.
Yeah. So you're not disoriented, but because they take threat here, like you're beating them off, and one of them you like punch in the nose, like you butt stock him in the nose with your pistol, and he kind of like stumbles back and is holding his face.
Can we instead make it that because the other guy's down, like as the grapple retracts, it like slaps him in the back of the
Sure.
head?
Yeah. One of them, this one in the end, gets slapped in the back of the head. So he's like holding the back of his head. He's not down, but he's injured. Right. Then the other 3, they're gonna try and break the window. Now the window has like super high soak, but if they can break through it, it's obviously, you know, they're gonna have access to the inside of the vehicle. So let's see here. It's an average, no defense on it, but I would say it's probably, let's just make an average. It's probably soak like 6, I would say. This is hardened like tempered glass, right? So let's see if they're successful. Nope. They just sit there, just ting 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 ting. They're just beating on it. Fortunately, they can't break through the glass. So that brings us
happy
to.
I bought that smuggler's trench coat. It was a real like, I don't know if I should. I don't know if it'll be worth it.
So
and it's been worth it.
Another figure appears on top of the cliff,
Who is this cheeky jabroni?
and he's going to fire at you, Jax. You're still the one hanging out the window.
Well, he doesn't have a gun. I can see him. He's got a gaffy stick.
Yeah. Well, sometimes gaffy sticks look suspiciously like slug throwers.
Slug throwers. Let me guess,
So
Tuscan huntsman.
It sure is. It sure is. So average 2, but you have defense. And he's going to aim. All right, slug thrower. Nope, he misses.
Ooh.
Misses very easily. However, he has friends.
Oh, fuck off. No. Stop.
Jax! 10
Fuck.
10 gets through your,
Jeez.
10 damage gets through your,
hell.
Alright.
Alright, so I just took 8 damage.
Okay.
Ooh.
Is that what you're saying?
No
way.
Well, no.
10,
It's 10 total, so minus your soak, which is 2,
7.
right? Oh,
So 3.
so yeah, so it's
7.
7. So you take 7 more wounds from that. You're just getting shot and beaten and battered and broken. It would be a lot easier if everybody else was outside and they could pick targets, but they can't.
Wow. Alright, well, I killed 3 of their friends. I guess they're mad.
Yeah, they are indeed mad. However, I need to roll something here. So the Banthas have no more riders, which means that they are not probably the smartest creatures in.
Well,
He's gonna run through the
actually, if we're going by legends, Bantha riders formed a very tight bond
Oh,
with their Banthas, so they work in kind of a symbiotic relationship.
let's see if they go crazy or not. Then.
Well, actually,
Let us find out. It's just be average, I think, because they don't have great
makes things
willpower.
worse for us.
So, they are disciplined. And I think what they're going to do is they're just going to kind of march forward. And that's kind of their turn. Stepping over the wire
They
that's
step
here.
over the wire? Okay.
Yep. No, they're
One
they're
arm split in 2.
yeah, exactly.
That would be hilarious.
Okay. So, the next two PCs to go, Kin and Zian.
Can you help me with something?
Sure.
Can you translate?
No.
No?
No.
Never mind then.
Does Ken look like a protocol droid? No.
I am not fluent.
Okay. With the little bit of information I gathered, do I know if sand people can generally understand basic or if they just can't at all?
Probably like their lore masters and maybe their upper echelon can. Basic sand people almost exclusively no.
Okay. What about this guy who
Chieftain
looks different? Do we think?
Yeah,
Would it be a reasonable assumption to assume he might be able to?
The guy up there is very clearly like a chieftain or
Okay.
like lead huntsman or something like that.
Okay. So I'm gonna step out of the vehicle
Okay.
and try and implore him to both of us to stand down, and maybe we can talk this over, and
Sure.
we'll see how this goes.
Sure.
Now the question is, so I can't do like a social skill and do the force. So do I do one or the other? That is the question. And actually, I might not be able to do the force because he might be too far away.
What's the range on your influence?
It is generally I think it's engaged. But what is this?
Yeah, I don't actually. Honestly, I never even considered range on influence. To be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I
it's a
don't think
weird-
I've got the range
Okay.
on
Yeah,
this.
because
so it's gonna...
he's at medium range, so you're gonna have to yell to him basically.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to just try and negotiate this
Okay.
shit,
All
and
right.
I'll flip a point.
That's a good idea.
Where's the flip button? There we go. Okay. All right, let's negotiate.
All right. Do you?
Oop.
Oh no, that's fine. That's the roll. I was gonna ask if
Okay.
you removed any black dice.
Actually, yes, I believe I
Okay,
do, but I don't think
then
it matters.
One less threat for you. So this is interesting roll. So you fail, and your intention was to get them to stop attacking. So
Yeah.
your triumph cannot stop them from attacking. They're going to continue
Right.
to attack. However, you can have like something else,
Yeah.
good happen in this situation.
Oh, man.
I have a
bounty
use for your
question.
I have a use. The Banters think that you're their writer.
Nah, that definitely it's way out of line of a.
I have a use for your triumph if you don't want it. That I'd run by you.
give me your suggestion, and we'll try and kind of.
You notice a very large boulder like above them. That's a loose.
Ooh. Or like maybe you notice a weakness in the cliff where you might be able to like dislodge it and make them slide down.
Yeah,
Yeah, make them slide down.
that might have to be it, because I can't think of a proper. What if we? What if we hear a crate dragon call and that causes them to be shaken or something like that? Kind of like Ben Kenobi. Like how, they're scared of a crate dragon because they know its power or something like that, and maybe it gives them a fear.
Rex Speeder and Jack's almost dead.
I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of versus the one that I would prefer not to do, but if it comes down to it,
No, I think we can do something like maybe you're gonna add a setback to all their next turn. You add a setback dice to all of them mechanically, but if you want it to be like you hear a crate dragon roar from behind him or whatever. So I think what happens is you see you shout out to him and your voice kind of echoes through the basin, right? It kind of it reverberates a little bit, and you see he kind of looks around and you see him pull up his rifle to like shoot at you, right? And then you hear in the distance like a rumbling, like a, and you see him. He lowers his weapon and kind of turns, and he looks, and you see like he clearly has like he says something to the two huntsmen next to him, and they both look, and then they all look at each other, and yeah, they seem shaken, and I think that the guys out here as well hear whatever that is, and they both kind of look, and now it seems like they're fighting you not to like take whatever you have, but they're fighting you so that they can leave you, so that the crate dragon doesn't kill them and they can run away, right? Like they're still fighting you, they're still going to engage you, but it's for a different reason now. And I'll add a setback dice to all their rolls. So perhaps with that, right before we see Kin jump out and start dishing out some justice, we take our break for the day.
All right.
I know, Ken. I know it's very sad. But let's be back at you guys want to be back at 10 after or 15 after? Shorter or longer?
Shorter.
Okay, 10 after it is.
Cool.
All right, we'll see you then.